morning, everybody. How are we feeling? I personally have a sore eye, but that doesn't matter. Today I want to talk about the importance of staying mindful, and one of the traps that I have personally fallen into in the last week. It's kind of like a relapse, I guess, which is depending on what other people think of you and depending on other people to love you so that you don't have to love yourself. Now, I used to, before, I'll give you a brief history of myself. So, I always lived in the city, and I became very stressed. I moved out of home. I didn't know where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. I was very uptight, and it was just not a good time. I knew something was wrong, and I knew I needed a sea change. So I moved down to the country for 6 months, and I did some work experience on a farm. I knew absolutely nobody, and I had to throw myself out there, and I really had to focus on liking who I was. So then I thought, okay, I can go back up to the city. And it was all fine when I didn't have a job. I didn't have a job for about 5 weeks. I've just got a job now that requires me to work about 7 days a week. Well, I have 2 jobs together, 7 days. And obviously when you are busy, you find it's harder and harder to find that time to love yourself and to be mindful and to think mindfully. Now, being mindful is the opposite of using your subconscious mind. You want to be conscious. Being mindful is doing things purposefully. So when you learn how to drive is an excellent example. If you're learning to drive with a manual or a stick, you are aware you're trying to be aware of absolutely everything. That's being mindful, and it doesn't have to be that hard. It's something that comes with time and practice. So the trap that I started to relapse into was, like I said, depending on others to love me and caring about what they think. And I basically made what I thought other people were thinking and what society required of me my problem. So I have 3 tools that you can use to combat this. And the first one, this is relating to people themselves. The first one is to accept the person for who they are. You have no right to change anybody, and they have no right to change you. So if you happen to chew really loudly, or you spit in people's faces, or you happen to talk to them really closely, or you have a knack for being a little bit abrupt when you speak, it's no right of anyone to change you for that. That's just who you are. And the sooner you accept that that's just how they are, then you start to develop a tolerance, and you're able to perceive the world more objectively from a bird's eye view rather than like this tiny little box in your own little bubble, making everyone feel sorry for you and trying to feel sorry for yourself, because it's just not a box that you want to be in. So accept them for who they are. I don't know why I keep waving my fingers around. Accept them for who they are. And then the next one is to have compassion for them. Ask why they do these things. I mean, you don't need to find out the answer, but just have a compassion that there is a reason why they are like that. We were all born, to an extent, I believe that we were all born on a clean slate. We are still who we are when we're born, but a lot of it comes down to our environment and how we're brought up and what situations were put in front of us. So have a compassion for that person, that maybe they talk really fast or they're abrupt for a reason, and just accept that and be okay, that's fine. Clearly, you're still working through things. So, and that's a compassion. Develop compassion for everybody, and that again helps you look objectively over everything and everyone, and you develop a deeper love and understanding for everyone around you. And the last one, I do this at night when I can, and I was really lucky. If I didn't, I'll load up heaps of mindful exercises, how to be mindful. I've just found some awesome articles to back up mine. If I hadn't done these, then I would not have been aware of myself relapsing into this particular stint. My computer just died. Anyway, and the last one is every night I evaluate all of the negative things that happened or things that upset me emotionally. I acknowledge that they were there, but I don't get myself hung up on it, and I find the good things that came out of it. What did you get out of it? Despite the negative, did it make you stronger? Did it make you smarter? Did you learn something about yourself that you've never known, and now you can learn to adapt? Was the fact that Georgia was being narky and mean to you, did that make you have a thicker skin? And just evaluate from there. I believe, whether or not this is true, I believe that the universe puts everything in front of us for a reason. And if it doesn't, I'm going to still believe that everything that's put in front of me is there for a reason, for me to get something out of it. So accept them for who they are, have a compassion for why they are who they are and what they do, and find the reason that they're there in front of you. And that's how I've been getting out of my relapse. That sounds so bad. Anyway, happy days, guys. Have an excellent, excellent weekend.